place?
Never been to a game. I did go for a recruiting trip to see the facilities and you know, meet everybody there, obviously, but never been to a game.
You see him on TV, though. I mean, what is your reaction of what you're expecting it to be like? You know how hostile it is.
I mean, from everything I've heard, you know, it's supposed to be an electric place to play in, and you know, they really got the home field advantage. You know, they got a great fan base, and I heard it's, you know, a crazy environment. So I'm ready to see what it's like.
What are some things you tell yourself to prepare for an environment like that?
You know, just to stay composed. You know, you can't let the crowd get to you in those moments, and you got to stay on top of your assignments and know what you got to do, you know, throughout the week in preparation to make sure that, you know, if you can't hear, you know, when you're in there, that, you know, you still know how to communicate. You know, but really, you know, we work on it in practice throughout the week, you know, making crowd noise on the speakers and try to just get used to, you know, being in that environment.
What's the loudest stadium you've been in before you played?
Loudest stadium I played in? Probably that last year at Auburn.
Taking away the crowd and the atmosphere, I mean, looking at this next group of opponents y'all coming up, it's ranked team after ranked team after ranked team. I mean, starting with LSU Saturday, just how difficult is it, I guess, to prepare and change from team to team so quickly with the knowingness like y'all don't have a week off to play like a non-conference game or something?
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, every week teams get better. You know, they get more experienced, and you know, obviously we got a tough stretch, you know, up ahead with, you know, a lot of good opponents. But you know, our preparation's not going to change. You know, if anything, we're going to push harder because we know the competition's going to get better. But you know, it's obviously exciting. You know, knowing that you're going to go into, you know, some of these big games, and that's what you want to be a part of as a football player.
Kirby was asked how tested you guys are up until this point. He said, well, the test really is coming up the next 3 weeks, assuming you'll have a bye week as well. But how tested do you think you are up to this point? And are you guys ready for what's coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're tested. You know, we believe that, you know, some of the best competition we're going to play is in practice, you know, for one. And, you know, like you said, we got some big games coming up. And, you know, they're teams we played before. You know, being an older guy, I've played a lot of these guys. So, you know, I know what to expect, and I know, you know, a lot of these teams are, you know, ready to get another shot at us, especially. You know, but I think we're going to prepare well, you know, and we're excited to get after these teams.
As an offense, do you guys get excited about the task of going against a top corner like Greedy Williams?
Yeah, anytime we get a chance to, you know, play a really good player, you know, it's always good. You know, me personally, I love playing against good players, good competition. You know, and they got a solid team as a whole. They're a very good team, and you know, so I'm looking forward to, you know, playing some of those guys.
And obviously, y'all go against a talented guy in DeAndre Baker at practice every day. Does that help at all when you're facing a top guy like that to have one on your own team, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we got tons of talent on the field. You know, just in practice. So being able to go against those guys, you know, it makes it easier on Saturdays. You know, playing good players, and you know, because we see it all the time.
Isaac, Georgia hadn't been to Baton Rouge since '08, and under this current scheduling format, it may not be until like 2030 before Georgia goes back. You wish you played some of these teams on the West a little more often than y'all currently do?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that. You know, obviously I like playing teams in the West. You know, it's a new experience, you know, because you don't get to play those guys very often. You know, but the East got a lot of good teams too that you got to constantly be prepared for, and you know, got some good rivalries in the East, and you know, but I love playing teams from the West. You know, I got a lot of buddies that play in the West, so you know, whenever I get a chance to see them, you know, on the field, it's always nice to link back up and you know, try to rub a W in their face.
I think Kirby played in this game 20 years ago. He had 12 tackles in a win over there. Does that mean anything? Does that resonate with you guys as players that Kirby, you know, played for Georgia at one time as a player himself and has been through these environments and all that?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he's a guy that's been through it, and he knows what it's like. And you know, I think that's why he coaches the way he coaches. You know, he's very fiery and passionate, and you know, from the older guys I've talked to that played with him, they said he hasn't changed one bit from when he was a player. So, you know, just knowing that he's got the experience and he's been through it, you know, he keeps it very black and white for you, and you know what you're going to expect. He doesn't lie to us about, you know, what things are going to be like, and he can't because we know he's been through it. So, you know, that definitely is an advantage for us, I would say.
You guys have played a lot of second and third stringers in the fourth quarter. of games because you get them pulling one of the teams out. Does that matter? That, you know, if this thing becomes a 4-quarter game, you guys haven't necessarily been in that experience yet this season?
I wouldn't say so. Yeah, I think it's an advantage for us that, you know, we've been able to develop guys, you know, second and third string guys to be ready to play. You know, if anything happens, these games are very physical, and you know, guys can go down at any minute. And knowing that we got guys that are already prepared, you know, have experience is an advantage for us. And you know, just with the way we practice so hard that our bodies are ready for 4 quarters.
Looking back at the tight ends, following up on the 6 yard Saturday, I mean, Kirby was talking about how it's not all about just getting the ball to y'all and how that's a perception, like, oh, it's just easy to get it to the tight ends, but protections and things like that matter. So with that, I mean, just how important is it for you guys to continue to work on being that all-around player? And then also with Coach Chaney, I mean, how does he kind of talk to y'all about dealing with that balance? You know, not getting frustrated that y'all might not have those numbers every week.
Yeah, I mean, being a tight end, you do have to be that all-around player. It's you know, we got to know protections, we got to know coverages, we got to know every route structure, we got to know blocking protections and where the running back's going to be. So, you know, there's certain points where we do have to stay and protect on passes. You know, we got play action passes where we'll be blocking. You know, so the tight end position as a whole, you got to be able to do everything, and in certain games, you know, we got to do more things, you know, than others. And for example, last week we caught the ball more and made more plays and threw the ball a lot more, and you know, that was something we had to do. You know, versus other games, there's been games where I've been, you know, in pass protection more. So, you know, it's important to do it all, and you know, we work every week to do it and make sure we're prepared to do it. And you know, I know one of the emphasis for us has been pass protection, and so we've been trying to, you know, get better at that. And you know, whenever the ball comes our way, we'll make plays.
With the quarterbacks kind of shuffling in and out more recently, is that hard at all for y'all at all, with maybe cadence changing up, anything like that, or is it still pretty smooth?
Still pretty smooth. You know, like I said, we work on it a lot, so you know, it's something that you know we take pride in. We get a lot of reps doing it and hearing cadences and doing, you know, verbal stuff too. So you know, it all ties in together, and I think we're pretty confident in that.
You guys are already missing Ben for several weeks. It sounds like Solomon's deal isn't that significant. Maybe how big, you know, to have another starter available, you know, whether this week or after the bye week, look kind of bad on the field in the Cardinal.
Yeah, I'm not even really sure, you know, what happened there.
Kirby said he might practice today.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't even had a chance to talk to him, but you know, we need all the guys we can get, you know, especially on the line, and you know, those are 2 experienced guys for us. So it'd be great if we could have them back. Absolutely.
When y'all go into these tough environments like this, I mean, obviously y'all won't have the crowd maybe that you got at Notre Dame last year, but how good is it to look up and see, you know, y'all support throughout the stadium, you know, and stuff like that?
Oh, it's huge. You know, even just from our experiences last year, you know, we got a great fan base that travels. Yeah. And, you know, I know a lot of people that are going to be traveling to this game, and, you know, just to see their support is huge for us, you know, knowing that we're not going into that thing alone. And, you know, so our fan base is huge as far as traveling, and we greatly appreciate that.
No seconds of a blocking something you guys always, you know, try to do every week. But this game here, we got Devin White sitting over there in the middle for LSU. How much more important is that going to be emphasized? It doesn't need to be emphasized for this ball game to come up with that guy. Yeah,
I mean, they got great players on that side of the ball, and I know Devin, you know, personally, he's a great player, and you know, he's one of those guys that, you know, he's a high effort guy, and you know, he's a physical guy. So I mean, you got to match that and go above and beyond. You know, I think one of the biggest things for us is going to be physicality, and you know, really set the tone on that, you know, in that aspect of the game. So, you know, I know they're going to be ready to come out and play us, and we need to be ready as well. And you know, it's going to be a lot of good players on that field playing, so it's going to be a good game.
I can't remember how
Time for 2 more.
Down at IMG, we used to be on the same. We used to battle each other down in 7-on-7 tournaments and all kinds of stuff. Just the recruiting circuit.
How do those battles go?
Won a couple, lost a couple. Man, he's a good player.
In conference games this season, you guys seem to be like driving up the score later in the game in the first, where you're kind of figuring out the defense. What's kind of going on there?
You know, I think we just, you know, there's such good coaching and such good players in this conference that, you know, they scheme up stuff to try to throw us off. And you know, I think a lot of the teams have done a good job to this point, but You know, once we've executed and done well and, you know, made our adjustments, you know, we really started rolling. But we definitely need to get out to faster starts and you know, take other teams out of it early.
Thanks,